I'm gonna be doing a recap of 2025's Game Awards, which is also apparently the worst Game Awards anybody has ever seen. One of the first things they show is literally an indie game where you herd sheep as a dog, and then you got Pragmata, which is a game by Capcom where you take care of a little girl inside of a spacesuit. And then right after that, one of the first awards is given to Uma Musume as Best Mobile Game. And then you have Expedition 33 sweep almost every single award they were nominated for. They got Best Actor, Best Debut, Best Score, Best RPG, Best Game Direction, and also they got Best Indie Game Award, which is insanely controversial because everyone's arguing whether or not Expedition 33 is even an indie game. And this has to be the biggest bait I've ever seen in my life, but they tease not Bloodborne, but Badgerborn, which is actually called Bradley the Badger, which looks like Little Big Planet inside of like a bunch of parody games. Minecraft movie lost Best Adaptation Award over The Last of Us Season 2, which I didn't take nicely.
The Last of Us Season 2!
There's a new Star Wars game which is a successor to a really old one called Fates of the Old Republic. After 5 minutes of people tweaking and flying in the air, we finally got a reveal of what the hell this stupid statue is, which is apparently a game made by the same studio that made Baldur's Gate 3 called Divinity. For some reason, they showed a game where you could play as a grandma. The guys that made Soma made a new scary spooky game that has some guy that looks like Saul Goodman in it called Ontos. There's a new Resident Evil game where you can play as Leon with a scruffy mustache. And one of the most infamous directors of all time, Jonathan Blow, made a game that took him 10 years to make, which is called Order of the Stinking Star. And then he got a new game in the Control series. There's a new IP game that looks really cool called Gang of Dragon. They announced a Street Fighter movie. And what's crazy is that Moist Critical wins Content Creator of the Year.
Please God, anybody but me.
And the Game Award goes to Moist Critical.
You got 2 Tomb Raider games announced, Forest 3, and you got this beautiful retro anime co-op game that's called Orbitals coming up. Silksong actually won an award.
See, you guys won.
There's a new Star Wars racing game made by the same guys that made Burnout. And the final reveal that's made by the same guys that made Titanfall and Apex Legends is
Some guy with a $30 haircut come up out and scream.
Is just a game called Highguard, which to me literally just looks like Diet Concord. But hey, at least it's free. And then the Game of the Year award, which had somebody play with a PVC pipe to announce it, is of course Expedition 33. And just like last year, no Bloodborne remake, no Persona 6 teaser, and not even a Titanfall 3. But yeah, I can definitely see why people call this one the worst Game of the Year awards yet.